Hello, Bobby. Did I miss something? Oh shit, it's 2018. Ugh. I said I'd take a break for December. I gotta get my arse into action. But what's your review, eh? Well, hello YouTubers, and today I'm going to be reviewing 3 different 12-inch Cybermen figures. Now, technically I have sort of reviewed this before. I've reviewed a variant of this one, which I'll go into in a minute. But first, before we get into things, let's have a look at the box. Now, this one I bought off someone off Facebook, and unfortunately it wasn't in the box wasn't in the best condition, but the figure was, and that they. And all of these, when they were released, were in the exact same box. The only difference is obviously with a regular Cyberman, you got that, and otherwise it would show the Cyber Controller or Cyber Leader, blah blah blah. Fully posable action figure with 14 points of articulation. Yeah, we'll get into that. And then some information on the back. You can pause this to read it, because honestly, who actually reads this stuff? And that, if you're buying this figure, then I'm pretty sure you're generally going to know about the Cybermen, or at least a few basic things. So I'll just go over the regular Cyberman first, because really, other than a few minor differences, they're all exactly the same in every way. So let's start off with the head and have a look at the details. So since this is a bigger scale and that, then they have a bit more room to do a bit more detail. For example, these little notches round here, which they didn't do on the original releases. If I just get one here, you can see that on this one they're just completely smooth. However, if you do have a corroded Cyberman from Series 6, they actually do have these little indent sections here. There we go. Other than that, though, it is literally just a larger version than that of a general Cyberman. In fact, actually, if we just take the 5-inch one again, I'll take a one that doesn't have an arm gun. This one doesn't have an arm gun. I believe there may have been an arm gun variant. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I think there might have been an arm gun variant, though I can't remember if there was or wasn't. We'll just take a look. It literally is just a blown up version and that. Though we did another difference on the knees and that, we've got the little grooves on the knees and that. And on the back, oh dear me. Yes, if you thought it was bad on the 5-inch one, well, here it is, but just over twice as big. Oh yes, lovely. We all needed to know that. We've also got, you can see here the oh dear, that's my phone going off. You've also got here, you can see where the screw holes and that have been, that they've plugged up and that. I mean, why didn't they ever put them on the feet? I guess because they wanted to have this rigid design on the back, but even so, you know, come on. You got the chest plate and that looks all nice. And also, you've got this cloth material around the side. Well, on this one it was sculpted on, and personally I think, I don't know, because the thing is, this material that they've used for, I don't know, the wires or whatever you want to call it, it feels very fragile, basically. And it also hinders the articulation as well, because basically, if I go through the articulation, it's all the same on all of them. The heads can just about do a 360, it can nod, and the arms, that's how much the arms can move. They can do, I don't know, it's not really, it's not even 180 degrees, but it's a little bit more than 45. They can bend at the elbow, the wrists. Can't do a 360. You have a bit of movement at the waist that turns slightly from side to side. The legs, that can move back and forth slightly by that much. You've got a 90-degree bend at the knee, and you've got a little bit of ankle articulation as well. That's basically it. Now this thing, I don't know why, but why didn't they give this thing a... Whoa. I just knocked it out. Why didn't they give it ball jointed shoulders like this? You know, that little bit more of articulation just, you know, allows it a bit more movement. A little bit more, you know, because otherwise it can't really do a lot. I mean, the 10th Doctor 12-inch figure, that did have a ball jointed shoulders, so, you know, why doesn't this one? And it just means the articulation is hindered, and if you pull it too much, you know, I can easily see the stitching here. I can easily see that, you know, will grip if you tried. And also, you know, the head is fairly loose on this, actually. It's fairly loose on all of them. And it is nice, and that is nice to have all the details on. I don't know why that one isn't straight. That one is, that one isn't. It's nice to have all those little details and that. But, pretty much, apart from a minor few things, it's pretty much just a blown up version of this. And that's not a bad thing. This is a very nice figure, nonetheless. But even so, you know, to claim on the 14 points of articulation and that, it does sound like a large number, but when you get down to it, you know, the legs can't go swix or anything. Although it's not at that V joint and that, they do move backwards and forth. But also, just like with the 5-inch Cybermen figures, that are the Cybus ones, this is incredibly difficult excuse me, to stand up on his own. And that I was actually fumbling about for 5 minutes before this video. But anyway, let's take a look at the Cyber Leader, because he's a little bit different. So, the main difference, obviously, is that we've got the black handlebars. And he's also pointing slightly, and he has the more open hands. So if we just compare, these ones are more clenched, and these ones are a bit more open. In fact, if we just get the 5-inch ones, it's the same thing. You know, we've got clenched hands, whereas this one, he's pointing, and this hand is more open, more flat, palmed. So, you know, it's basically a more blown up version, though you have a bit more detail there, and he is pointing. But the good thing about this is that, just like the 5-inch version, unless it's the B&M re-release, that was in, I think, 2009, you can move with the chest piece and you get this lovely circuitry detail, and that which looks really, really nice. You can see there the emotional inhibitors there, some blue dots and that, and bits of circuitry. And this thing just clips back on. Feels very secure on there. It has an actual clip. And, you know, but the thing is, it would have made more sense if this Cyberman had it, because it was just a regular Cyberman in Rise of the Cybermen and the Age of Steel, where that happened to. It never happened, you know, the Cyber Leader, that never came off. Because it's not, this is not removable on the Scandig one. And just speaking of the other variants I reviewed, I'll go into in a sec after I've reviewed this. The Cyber Controller. So, just like the others, this is literally just a bigger version, though we do get a little bit more detail there in the eyes. We can see the detail a bit more clearly. We've got a little black dots in the middle with the white dots around there and the blue. You've got the bring out, and you can see all the little lines and that inside. It's a bit hard for the camera to focus on it because of the light. And you've got all the little bolts going around here where the wires would connect. You've got a sort of slightly different pointing finger. It's not quite pointing as much as the Cyber Leader, but I believe this hand is the same. And the, you know, other than the bolts, the rest of the body is exactly the same. It's just the bolts and the headpiece, and obviously this is not removable. Now, interestingly, there is a standard Cyberman variant which has these bolts on here on a standard Cyberman, and I've still got it. Unfortunately, it's at the back of massive pile of stuff. I'll just say that, loads and loads of Doctor Who stuff. But I have reviewed it in the past, and it's basically, you know, I don't know whether that was just a factory error, and that's because it wasn't just mine, because I've seen a couple on eBay where that was the case. I don't know why. Maybe they didn't sell a lot of these, and they just decided to swap the heads with that one, or mistake, or whatever. I don't know, it's a bit weird. But, you know, tisk tisk, and that. It's weird. So you're saying tisk tisk. What am I on about? But these are nice figures, and that, and they do fit in with the 12-inch range of figures, though they are not in scale with the Daleks. They are not in scale with the 12-inch Daleks. So if you are thinking, oh yes, I'll get these and have a sort of, you know, recreate Doomsday, but obviously in the 12-inch scale, sorry, but that is not going to be happening with these figures, because they are not in scale, and that they are a bit short and that. But say if you want to display it next to a 12-inch 10th Doctor or Martha, or 12-inch Gadoon, or 12-inch Ood, or, you know, basically any other 12-inch figure, they're going to fit in perfectly. I think, you know, the actual torso, the bodies and that they use underneath, I think are pretty much exactly the same as any other, like, male character and that in the show. Basically, they all seem to be and that, but they are very nice and that. And you can find the standard Cyberman here, the 12-inch one. You can find him pretty easily on eBay, and that he's not difficult to get, and neither were these two. I picked up I picked this up as part of a collection, and these two, this one I think was about a £5, and that one was about a £5 as well. So I got them fairly cheaply, obviously unboxed, but if you can find them, yeah, I do highly recommend them. And if there's anything else you'd like me to review, then please, you know, just tell me in the comments below, because I'm not sure what to review, though there is something coming next week. If it is arriving in the post by next week, and you'll find out what that is. I will also be reviewing the Bill figure when it comes out. We've obviously seen the Twitter post from Pill Mackie that yes, the figure does exist. You know, we already knew that it existed, but you know, a full confirmation. So hopefully we get that figure sometime this year and that, and you know, hopefully we'll get a Regeneration 13th Doctor figure, and that would be quite nice. And that, or if they did what they did with the Time of the Doctor set, you know, have a swappable head, and that, you know, I'd be up for that. But anyway, that does it for this review, and let's start some more reviews for 2018. Oh, fuck me knee. I don't know what I just did, but my knee just blinked. Ooh. Bobby, you see that? Good boy. To review.